Okay, team. Today we're gonna talk about something called profile-based firewall. We have a FortiGate firewall sitting in our LAN, and this is LAN. We have one machine, and we also have a DMZ Linux server. This cloud is the WAN. We make sure that we configure profile-based and allow traffic to internet connection goes to the cloud. So basically, what's gonna happen is we'll configure the firewall, allow to LAN access the DMZ, and then LAN access the internet. That's our mainly concern, and this is they call profile-based firewall. We'll set up using a FortiGate. Uh, so just to make sure that we understand, we have a internet, one box for firewall. This is the DMZ with server box. We have the LAN. We make sure the traffic goes to here to WAN and then to DMZ, and then from DMZ to um to LAN and DMZ to the WAN, right? Vice versa. So that's the topology we have today. So this is the course, and then everything goes to a GUI. So we'll make sure we configure within FortiGate GUI, right? GUI interface. That's what the FortiGate mostly famous with. So let's go ahead and do it now. We make sure the this one is Windows 7. Uh, Let me release. Okay, so no IP address. Looks good. Similar to this one. IPA. There's an IP address, but it's gonna be reboot. We'll take that down. So just so you know, this is Linux CentOS 6, the old version. We're just practicing on it. It has no system D, so it's kind of old-fashioned Linux system D. All right, so let's get going and turn the FortiGate on. Um, I'll show you how to configure FortiGate management. So just so you know, management and WAN are the same. We're using same port one. Okay. Okay. Login is admin. Create new password. Show system interface will allow you to to see the ports. That one has a dynamic IP address, which is the port one. That's the management and the WAN. So we're using the 30.0.0.0.9 to manage the firewall. What we can do is we go into a new window, login admin. Alright, first thing first, we will check the status. The version is 6.4. That's how you normally check it. Check the time. Normally time is always not updated. So you go to setting, system. Under system you go setting and then change your location. So the synchronization of the NTP should be correct. Alright, we will go to the network. Under network you go interface. We have a couple interfaces right here. Well, let's define the port 1. Select port 1 and click edit. So we can editing, and we'll say this is the role is WAN. Alias, we'll say WAN. Just make sure you put this one statically manual. So it'll stay on the network always the same, right? So basically make sure the WAN is defined the role, and you could do also alias means the name also looks good when you're doing VPN setup or any other thing. You can see the alias always, so this is the WAN. Also make sure the addressing mode goes to manual, and check the some of the administrative access like a ping, SSH, and all those. If you're connected to FortiGate management, make sure that FortiGate management access is checked. And the other boxes like analyzer, security fabric is also checked. If you're doing anything on Radius account, like LDAP or something like that, you make sure that you're also Radius accounting, and like if you have a ACS or ICE, it's the good to use this checkbox, right? It's this out is out of our scope. We're doing basic here, looking around, and what else you could do is you can just put, if you want to have an estimation of bandwidth, you can just put a bandwidth, the WAN. Yeah, so you can just put it in how many KB down and up streaming kilobyte per second. Alright, make sure the always defaulted the static of the port, it's all enable. So make sure that's on, nothing else, everything should be default. Click that, to allow. The warning is just saying that you want to switch to the dynamic to static IP. Alright, so the second port is port 2, it's the LAN port. So the LAN port, you make sure that input IP address manually. And ping allow. Okay, so ping is the only thing we allow right now. And if you want it, you're doing some sort of device endpoint management, device detection is on. This is when enabling a local MAC address filtering. Alright, so we want to have the local machines or LAN devices to have IP address. So we will give, we will run the DHCP server from here. This is where we run the DHCP server from the box. Uh, the little bit explaining in this situation is where we have, so if we look at the topology we have is, let's see, so we say this is the multiple machines, right? So we run the DHCP on this way. What that means, it will allocate the machines to get the IP address. So the DHCP server, it's the mechanism, the box has a mechanism of DHCP server, VPN, routing, control plane, I will say, switching capability, the, intrusion detection. So the file has a lot of capable modules. Those are modules. One of them are DHCP. What that does is give an IP address of multiple servers, so you can also face it to the WAN, to the DMZ. I mean, also this way. Just so we get the IP dynamically IP address allocation, right? So this is how the DHCP helps you. You don't have to have another. You can mainly shut off and use. You can basically stop DHCP and set up a DHCP server down here at the data center or DMZ. Uh, so DHCP server to and then get the DHCP um, that way, right? So we can do that too. So, so you have both options to do that, right? So for us, we will set up the DHCP within the box, the firewall. Okay, so I hope that clears out. And back to the management. Okay, so we get the LAN. Let me define the LAN. So this is a LAN. Okay, so we go to the DMZ port 3 is the DMZ. I will just say DMZ here. Just so you know, DMZ, if you turn the DMZ role on, you're not gonna have an option for the DHCP server. So I will not turn that on. I'll leave it 172.16.0.1 0.1/16. We'll allow ping allowed, SSH allowed. Yeah, so we can just say radius allowed. Some of the capability will allow HTTP allowed because we will have all these services later. Alright, here you go. The DHCP server turn on, dynamically assigned. Okay, so that looks good. Back to this. So we have everything set up. Okay. So if we go back to topology and look, let's resolve the communication right now. So what we're doing is we will make sure that we'll give access internet. First thing we gotta get IP address from this firewall. IP dynamically dynamic IP address, right? So what we say is we're defining dynamic. So we'll say dynamic. So we'll say we'll get the DHCP client. We don't care. I If we look the box, ipconfig, or we have the APIBA, which is 169, looking for IP, renew. Okay, cool. Got .2, right? So what that means, we'll change this to .2. That's it. So we have .2. It looks good, right? So we have .2. Now we want to ping Google. It's basically unreachable. So let's keep pinging. -T allows you to keep pinging. We want to have connection, right? If I go back to the firewall, what we have the IP. What we need is policy set up for this. So we'll go to the policy. Just so you know that this is the firewall is a mode is NAT, right? NAT mode. So under policy, if we go, we need a policy that allows the PCs to get the access to the internet. So firewall policy. For now, everything is implicit deny. No connection, no communication, and we need to create a new policy. See, we'll say this when LAN to WAN, right? So we'll go into the WAN. Which interface are incoming traffic from LAN? We're going to the WAN. What kind of resources? All. Destination where you want to go? All. Services, any kind of service? All. And this is the NAT if you look. So it's NATing, NAT base. We'll say okay. Okay, still pinging. Now, as a one downtime, we're still keeping. Now, what's going on is we need a static route. Say unreachable. So we'll go to the static route. And the network static route, there's no thing going on. All network. Put my gateway. Which interface WAN? There you go. So now we allow static route. We create the policy. So let's recap. This is what we've done. Couple things that we've done. We went to policy. We went to policy. Well, we did the policy. So we basically we create a policy that says LAN to WAN, allow the source, everything allowed, destination, everything, always service. Action is accept, not it, no inspection, and we'll let that go on right now. So this is help us. So if you look, implicit is a down, and this policy is up. So if you look this stage. This is first stage. It will read this line and allow the traffic from LAN to WAN. Now, an additional step that we added was static routing. Also, we fix it, and we say everything should be allowed, and the gateway and the interface is checked. That's how we get this communication going. Firewall, it's profile based, and we let this happening, right? So to prove it, we'll go to the internet. Go internet and Yahoo. Yeah, should have internet. No problem. Looks good. Alright, so we have communication going outside interface. Alright, let's make this the DMZ as well. So exactly similar steps. Policy. How do we know this is profile based? Under the system setting, if you look here, Next Generation Firewall, the mode should be two modes: profile based, policy based. We're now using profile based. Profile each network section. So similar case, what you can do is you can go to policy based firewall policy and create another policy that allows DMZ to WAN. The incoming traffic from the DMZ generating, and then it goes to the WAN. The source gonna be all, destination all, unless you want to do a specific something. Service all, and inspection will let it follow base. Everything else should be default. And hit OK. Alright, so we have another policy, profile base that allows from DMZ. Like I said, this machine it's CentOS, so CentOS 6, just to make sure. Okay. DH kind E0 getting IPA. Yes, we have connection. Bing. Yep. Alright, so we can bing. That's our course. We're done from here. Next course will be about, this one is a profile base. The next will be a policy base. Policy base. And I'll show you that in the next chapter. Thank you and have a great day.